Hello and welcome to the new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the new season Dual Destiny. This one just got released, basically all the information towards also PvP. We're going to have a quick dive into it here real quick as well. We're going to see some nice information already here. It's going to be a teaser that already going to showcases what is going to be happening today. I have not looked into this one yet. We also have all the information for PvP coming up. We're going to see, oh, apparently those boys are coming back here. Necrozma and also saw Galileo in like the fused form. So that makes a lot of sense for Dual Destinies, I guess. We're going to have a new way of the Pokedex that you just saw there as well, which is going to get released. We have Hooper back, which I already talked about a little bit earlier, going to be back on raids, but also we saw there already the, standard legendary Pokemon from that generation. Oh, look at this. We're going to have some ice, we have some electricity, we have some fire. This means we're going to have also, of course, for the Unova tour later on, the special legendaries. It's going to be the fused form of Zekrom and Zacian with the Kyurem, so Kyurem White and Kyurem Black. We already had a bit of a video towards it a little bit early on, so definitely check them out. We're going to get a dual Destiny research, which is going to be interesting, which you can claim, and a Pokemon debut, which is going to be also very interesting here, which is gonna be the Polteageist. Polteageist is actually an interesting Pokemon, which I did not really expect, which we're gonna take a look here real quick as well, while we edit on how good this Pokemon actually going to be. Polteageist, Astonish, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, I can tell you already with those stats, it's not going to be usable for anything. It is kind of similar to like a lot of other Ghost type Pokemon. It's not going to be a good Pokemon, but still going to be a fun one to see. Shadow debuts for the Regis. We had them already in Shadow, but this time around they're going to be replacing basically those Shadow Beasts, and they're going to be also available as a shiny Pokemon. We're going to get the new Lapras, which is very fitting for the theme, of course, as a Gigantamax, which I don't really care too much about. But also we're going to get Dynamax Krabby and Dynamax Machop, which might be good counters, especially the Machop for that one. We will see here some seasonal highlights with the community days that are coming up. Here are the dates that you have to kind of keep in mind for this one. We have January, where you have, of course, the December community day, actually on the 21st and 22nd, which is going to feature all of the Pokemon from before, which is going to have very likely a special background as well for the Pokemon you can catch there. We have the February community day, and then we're going to have the themed stickers. And also, we're going to apparently get the Expedition again. This was something I think that was available the last year as well at the same time, which a lot of people really like. Basically, you get a free incubator, you get an incubator every single day for the first spin from a photo disc, and that is usually very, very good, because then you get for, I think it's a tenner or something like this, 30 incubators each month, which is really, really solid. So that was something that a lot of people liked. We're going to have the Go Battle League, which you're going to take a look at. We of course have the showcases, which are going to be held from Saturday to Sunday, as well as Monday till Wednesday for this upcoming season. And we have some seasonal Pokemon here apparently with Frigibax, the Germnaa, the Assyrian Everluck in the breakthroughs here, so like for 7 days in a row doing the research there. So like those are interesting, especially the Germnaa as well as the Frigibax, which is kind of nice there. We have some special encounters. They usually don't really matter too much. I don't really see anything that's crazy here either. But as you will see here, just generally speaking, just general encounters. We have the eggs, where we have Lava Star, of course, in there. Again, I don't really see anything too special yet. We have the red and white striped Basculin, depending on where you're in here as well, for the 7km eggs. We have the adventure ones, we have the Meteo gift ones. There is nothing too crazy in here. And we're going to have Dreepy in the normal 10km eggs. Nothing really changed here as well. The seasonal bonus is going to be that you get one free raid pass each day for spinning a photo disc. That's actually really good. Extra Stardust earned from Team Go Rocket Bells, which I also like, and extra Stardust from gifts. I think that is a great feature. Of course, you don't have the extra candies anymore from trading, which is a little bit annoying, but we can maybe learn a bit more towards the Go Battle League. And as you're gonna see here, we're gonna have the new season of Go Battle League announced as well. We're gonna have more deep dive into like the changes as well later on. We have the Fantasy Cup coming back for the Great League, which is interesting, as well as the Open Great League. We're going to have the Holiday Cup, which is an interesting one, which you're going to take a look at a little bit later. We have the Little Cup edition though, and then we have the Holiday Cup Little edition. That doesn't make sense. I'm fairly certain this must be a bug. I'm fairly certain this most likely is going to be the Great League edition, and this might be the Little edition, because like having 2 times Holiday Cup Little edition doesn't make any sense at all. But this might be something that is just wrongly put in there. We have Color Cup, which we haven't had in ages. This was a very old cup that kind of gets now renewed as well for the Great League, which is interesting. We're gonna see here maybe some different ones. Jungle Cup Little Edition, not really interesting. Love Cup is usually actually in fun meta, to be fair. And with that, we kind of also go, oh, Mega Edition for the Master League comes back. Hopefully they fix the bug for this one. That's kind of interesting one as well. So that is kind of funny. Mega Master League might be also something maybe towards, hint towards the announcement of the next Pokemon game, because there are Mega Evolutions coming back. But anyway, this is going to be the season schedule. And of course, you're going to have here some rewards. We have the Go Battle Week, which is actually 5 days basically here, I think. And you're going to have 4 times as many sets, I think. Yeah, I think 4 times as many sets. And you're going to be able to get 4 times as much Stardust, which is actually really good for, especially an entire week. That's really, really good for people to hit Legend as well there. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to have some standard encounters here. We have like the other encounters you're always going to get. And we're going to have the Go Battle League Research Pass again. It's a free research that you can do, and you're going to get the same stuff as you get every single season, so it's not too interesting. Here's the new post from Grimsley, which is kind of interesting as well. Grimsley, a character from the Black and White games here. You're gonna see the post. I don't really like it. I thought that would be a bit better, but like that seems a bit weird. Just seems very weird. Anyway, we're going to have the... Actually, it's just the Holiday Cup Little Edition. I guess it was not a mistake, unless, like, I mean, it is a mistake to just have the Little Edition into it, because it's usually not something that people want to play. So that's kind of crazy, to be fair. But yeah, usually with the normal Grass, Electric, Ice, Flying, and Ghost type Pokemon, I really hope that they bring the Great League Edition somehow back as well, but like apparently not today. We have the Color Cup, which is going to be Fire, Water, Grass, and Electric. We have the Holiday Cup, Grass, Electric as well in there, but okay. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting one, that the Color Cup. We're going to have a Little Cup Edition where like Gligar and Stunfisk are going to be banned. Okay, I'm not too sure if they're still as good after the nerfs. We have the Love Cup, where it's only red and pink colored Pokemon. This is, by the way, based on the Pokedex. There's like, for every Pokemon, a color theme basically in the Pokedex, which is like, which majority color it is based on. And it's based on the Pokemon that have the red and pink coloring. We're going to have here the Mega Master League Edition, where no CP limit and Mega Evolved Pokemon are allowed, which is interesting. Updates to the combat system. The switch timer will continue to be 50 seconds. This change will continue to affect also the other one. So the switch timer stays the same, which I think is a great decision. Thanks Niantic for this one. I think it's a great one. And now we're going to take a look at the attack changes. And I'm not too sure if they're going to be too impactful here from what I've seen so far. I just looked at it slightly. We're going to have Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, energy increased. Definitely by only 1. Anything else would be too broken for them. So they're now 8 damage and 6 energy generation, which is basically Ember, but even with a bit more damage. And I think it has some potential. Definitely think it has some potential, especially Fire Fang. There are some Pokemon that really like to play those moves, and so I feel like this is good for content. There are a lot of cool Pokemon that could learn this. For example, Arcanine is one of them that I can think of, which is going to be a separate video anyway. We're going to take a look at the PvP changes in the video afterwards when I'm done talking about the stuff here. We're going to have Bulldoze, which is going to have the power decrease, the energy cost decreased, and a chance to drop the opponent's defense by 1 stage. I would think it's 35 energy at this point. With 45 power, I could not see it anything else than 35 energy. We have Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch being buffed to 60 power, which is kind of interesting because its moves are widely available, especially the Ice Punch going to be very important for Pokemon like Primeape and Annihilate. Then we have Thunder Shock getting a power boost, which I like a lot. There are a lot of cool Thunder Shock users. I would imagine that this is going to be the season of Galarian Stunfisk as well. Unless you're going to encounter something like the Digger Speed, which now got a power buff as well. And we're going to have the energy cost for Rage Fist increased, which is kind of awkward, of course. It kind of puts Annihilate back where it was before. It's not going to be great. Annihilate is not going to really enjoy this change at all. It's not going to impact Primeape as crazy, but it's still going to impact Primeape, don't get me wrong. The first move now takes 1 more fast moves for the Primeape. And so, like, the Annihilate Primeape era was literally just a few weeks, and that is kind of sad, to be fair. I wish that they would have done this change in a season and gave like basically Primeape and Annihilate 1 more extra season, but I do agree with the change in general, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people won't, like I do understand as well, like if you are coming from the standpoint of like, oh, I just invested all the starters on this and like now they're kind of not as great anymore. I fully get this. Like, don't get me wrong. I fully get this. I invest into those Pokemon as well. Don't get me wrong. I fully get this. I don't agree with the change itself either. I would have rather had 40 damage for Rage Fist instead of 50 damage and keep it at 35 energy. I feel like this would have been way fairer. But yeah, I am not doing the changes here. We're going to have Dragalge with Focus Blast. Not too sure if this is going to be impactful. Bibarel with Rollout, which is definitely think is going to be impactful. We actually had this already in the video yesterday. Same goes for Gliscor and Starmie. Both of those were also predicted already from my brother, so that's kind of interesting. Check out the video as well if you want to see some early changes towards this. I'm gonna make another video now where I'm just gonna put all of those things in there, take a look also at the Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch users, and like the Thunder Fang, Ice Fang, and Fire Fang users. All of the good stuff is going to be happening here today. This is going to be also it for it. Here, by the way, here's the graphics from Galix, a good friend of mine, showcasing all of the changes as well for the season. Again, here it's just a little bit easier to see as well. Always the graphics are the best. You see all of the move changes very detailed and very easy to understand. By the way, if you're wondering why are there so little move changes, usually Niantic wants to have one big move change, which is after Worlds, a tiny move change, which is the next season afterwards, then a bigger move change, not as big as the one after Worlds, but like still a big move change for the next season, and then again a tiny one leading up towards World Championship. This is usually on how Niantic kind of wants to go with the PvP updates, so I'm not too surprised that we don't get as many moved updates here. I still do think they're going to be impactful. I'm fairly certain they're going to be impactful, especially Thunder Shock, Fire, and the Fire Fang, Ice Fang most likely as well. Thunder Fang maybe, not that many great users of it. Ice Fang, to be fair, also not really that many great users. But especially like Fire Punch and Ice Punch are going to be having quite some good plays for a lot of Pokemon. For example, Diggersby definitely going to be a bit stronger now. And also kind of clears the debate if you want to have Hyper Beam or Fire Punch. Fire Punch is definitely the better move now. Anyway, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try my best now to take a look at some Pokemon with you. The video is going to be up as soon as possible. I will see you then. Bye-bye.